Hi, I'm Zach Scheit from the Rich Retirement Letter, and today I wanted to tell you a story about my oldest daughter. Now, as a father of seven kids, each of my kids are my favorite, and each for their own special reasons. My oldest daughter is very different from me in a lot of ways. She's creative, she's artsy, she's very outside the box, but she's also like me in some ways. She's very organized. She gets a kick out of office supplies and school supplies, and we both like sushi. Now, a year ago, I was really proud of her because she filled out her own tax return and she had to pull together all the information that she needed to put onto the forms, and she really handled it all herself. She did a great job, but when she hit submit, what we found out was that somebody had stolen her identity and already filed a tax return in her name. So frustrating. And that became the whole experience of, changing bank accounts, checking credit reports, contacting a credit monitoring service and making sure that we got everything cleaned up for her name. Now, when we talk about individual identity theft, we're talking about everything from bank and credit card fraud to tax and government documents, even phone and utility bills. There's so many different ways that people can steal your identity and wind up hurting your financial picture. At the same time, businesses face some really big threats with their data as well. We've seen a disturbing trend of ransomware attacks hitting big name companies, and you can be sure that for every ransom demand that hits the front page of the newspaper, there are several smaller attacks that you'll probably never even hear about. Last year, the average ransom demand that we know about averaged $847,000. And of course, some were much larger than that. Now, as businesses adjust to this new era of employees working from home, there's a huge need for businesses to make data available to employees off-site, but then to still protect this data from intentional or even unintentional loss. So data security stocks have actually surged higher during the whole coronavirus crisis because more people were working from home and it was clear that there was a need for the services that they provide. Since that time, several of these companies have been treading water on the stock market and kind of trading sideways as the economy starts to emerge from this whole coronavirus crisis. But the truth is that the need for internet security, both at home and in businesses, will always be an incredibly important service. And now that the Delta variant is actually causing more people to continue to work from home, and companies are having to rethink about whether they're going to be able to bring people into the office or not, we're likely to see even more emphasis put on this area of the market, cybersecurity. Just last night, one of the most well respected internet security companies reported outstanding profits for the second quarter. The stock is surging higher today, and that's a tip off for us as investors. Now, this area is about to get red hot again. And today, I've got two stocks for you to play that you can ride higher and can hand you some big profits as this whole area of the market starts to take off again. Now, on the business side, Palo Alto Networks, ticker PANW, is really the industry standard and one of the hottest stocks in the area right now. The company reported strong profits last night and shares are surging higher today. Now, I saw an interview with the CEO last night and I was really impressed with the number of big new corporate clients that PANW signed last quarter. The company signed on its first $100 million customer and it has 18 customers that pay more than $10 million per year. And then you can see in this chart, it has 986 corporate customers that pay more than $1 million. Those are some big numbers. And this sets up a lot of recurring revenue from these customers over time. And it also legitimizes the company so that other big blue chip companies will sign on as customers. Remember, the Delta variant is spreading, which means more businesses will need to make more permanent decisions about how their workforces can dial in from offsite. And that means it's even more important for them to partner with a company like PANW. With the stock so much higher today, I wouldn't jump in right away, or at least not with both feet, because it might pull back. But this is a great spot to use dollar cost averaging, which simply means that you take how much you want to invest in this stock and you put a little bit in at a time. So maybe you buy a few shares today, maybe you buy a few shares next week, and a few shares over time so that if the stock continues to surge higher, you've already got some positions on the book right now. And if the stock pulls back after this initial surge, you'll be able to buy more shares at a discount and you won't have all of your investment put in at the high right now. On the personal side of this industry, I like shares of NortonLifelock, ticker NLOK. The company actually just announced a big buyout of Avast for about $9 billion. Now, this gives NortonLifelock a much more international presence, and it brings the total number of customers to over 500 million. Shares of NLOK popped higher this month on news of the announcement. And with consumers doing more online for work, for online shopping, for online entertainment, and more, the need to protect personal data is growing quickly. So NLOK is positioned very well to benefit from this demand and to protect customers around the world. And the stock is moving higher as this demand leads to higher profits. Now, these are two great ways to play this important area of the market, especially as the Delta coronavirus variant starts creating more concerns for businesses and for individuals online. I'd love to hear what you think about these plays or other names in the cybersecurity market. So feel free to leave me a comment on this video or send me an email at richretirementfeedback@stpaulresearch.com. Here's to living a rich retirement.